Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Amor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Zander.
Good afternoon, Rosa. Good afternoon, Amor.
Amor.
Afternoon or morning or evening or nighttime. It's all just equally this. It's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Beautiful. Sweetheart over there. Where are you actually?
I am in Georgia.
Ah, Georgia. Georgia, you know the song of Ray Charles?
No. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yes, I do know that song.
you do know. I love it. I love Ray Charles, by the way. Okay, but so I'm curious. I'm curious to just listen to you. Do you want to start with whatsoever is popping up there, or shall I bombard you with questions?
Let's bombard me with some questions.
Okay, so what what is the reason that we are talking now here? And about are we talking now here about the cookie?
Yeah, I mean there's an apparent story that has apparently led me to this.
To this.
Yes. And I mean none of it actually matters. But yeah, when Amor was 16 years old, I've always there was always this apparent striving to find God, to find the truth. And Amor followed different gurus and Buddhism, and it was all just, it all led me to this. And there's nothing really to it. There's nothing to it, It's just an apparent story.
What do you mean with just an apparent story?
Well, there's actually nobody doing anything. There was never anybody doing anything. It was just this appearing as a somebody doing, striving to find God. There was never actually anything happening. There was nothing, it was this appearing as the gurus and this appearing as an Amor, worshiping gurus, learning from gurus, putting gurus on a level higher than Amor, because they apparently knew something that Amor didn't know.
Yeah. And so this is still a story here.
And this is also just as equally a story. And Amor saying this right now is just as equally a story as an Amor following Ramana Maharshi. There's no difference. Just as equal as a serial killer or somebody robbing a bank. It's all just equally that.
Or let's put this example, or going to the toilet.
or going to the toilet. Yeah, you could basically use any number of examples. But it's all just equally this. There's nothing actually happening. There's not a separate person doing anything. It's just this.
And nor is
However
there...
it makes...
Oh, sorry, Amor.
No, go ahead.
Nor is there something which leads to this. There's no path to this already. There's just this. There's not something which leads to this. Thinking that something leads to this is this already. There's just this. Whatever is happening, thinking that something was leading up to this or not is equally just this. It doesn't matter. It's simply this. Saying it's a story or an apparent story or reality or not reality. It's just this, you know, giving these names and, you know, thinking there's a path which led to this and there was a before this or not. It's just simply this already. It doesn't matter, right?
Just perfect, just the way it is. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right.
Exactly.
It's just, there's nothing to any of it.
No,
You know,
exactly. And even thinking it's right or wrong is just this. There's just no way out. There's no you in this able to escape this. No you behind this reaching this. I mean, in a way, there's not even this appearing as that. There's just this, thinking that there's something which is appearing as this, is this already. There's nothing else. There's nothing secret which is arising as talking with Amor and Rosa and standing in the park somewhere. This is it. It's, you know, there's not something appearing as standing in the park. There's just standing in the park, sitting in front of a laptop, words, maybe thinking, thoughts, wondering, smiling innocently. You know,
absolutely. And there's really no escaping it. I mean, no matter
Yeah.
what could no matter what could apparently be said,
yes,
it's just this. There's
Yeah.
nothing to it.
exactly.
I mean,
Beautiful.
we could appear to go in circles for, you know, seemingly forever. You know, it's just this.
Yeah.
The sun beaming on me, walking through this beautiful
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing, sweetheart. Thanks for sharing. Lovely.
little forest in Georgia. It's just,
Yeah, cool.
just
But thanks for taking us with you.
Yeah, it's nice. I love to see the nature there. And can you go on the trees? I saw something hanging there from the trees or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know if it's the same as in Sweden, but it's when the air is clean, you got this hanging from the trees. It means that it's
yeah,
there.
it's just, you know, I live in New York.
Oh.
So I come from the snow
Yeah.
and the cold, and to be down in the warm in the tropical type of weather, it's freeing. I don't know, and that's just, you know, apparently happening.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. You know, it's so innocent,
Right.
liking the sun instead of the snow, or, you know, feeling the sun on the body and liking it and, you know, enjoying it. It's just this. And, you know, like you said, in a way, it going around, there's just going around in circles, one can say, you know, there's no one going around in circles.
Yeah.
It's just circling, you know, no one is circling, it's just full on, you know, standing in a park and talking and, you know, liking and not liking. And, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, even when it matters, it doesn't matter.
It's just this directness of what is, exactly as it is. And this, yeah, and you can give it any name. You can call it whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change a thing.
You could let's talk about Amor. Amor is love, right? Amor.
The name, yeah.
Yeah, Amor. So, you know, I was called, my name is Alex, and it's just a name, apparently. So the name Amor Amnis popped up. It came, you know, years ago, and yeah, it sort of stuck with me. What's a name? Who am I? It's just this.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Totally. Call it what you want. Call it Amor. Call it war. Or Rosa.
Call it Alex. You know, I mean, call it Alex or Amor, there's still just this. You know, I see still a guy with a cap and standing in the sun. It doesn't matter if it's called Amor or Love or Alex. You know, it's simply it's this. It doesn't care what has been named, so to say. You know, and even
Absolutely.
you know, even liking names and not liking names is this. There's no way out. Here, there's a love for the name Amor. Amor. Who doesn't love Amor? It's love. Amor is love.
And saying that Amor is love is just this.
Yes. Exactly.
It just is what it is.
Not knowing what the word amor means is also this. Not connecting this with the word love.
Yeah.
It's just a sound.
And you saying that, apparently, you saying that is just this.
Mm-hmm. No escape.
You know, we could sit and talk about politics or sports, or just sit in silence and stare at each other, and it's just there's nothing you know, more important than another thing to talk about, because there's no this and that. It's all just this.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
know,
exactly. And
yeah.
you know, thinking or feeling that there is something else which is called that, or saying there's something, or there's this and that, you know, dividing this into a this and that is this already. So it's not even about something else, you know, thinking or feeling that there's something which could be more important than this, you know, it's equally just this. It doesn't matter sitting, you know, talking in a park, like you said, or sitting in silence, or you know, looking at Ramana and kissing his feet, or giving him a punch, what you were posting, you know, it's equally just this. Yeah, simply what's happening.
And it's just as naturally occurring as the tree sitting there. And you know, this tree might have apparently been here for 500 years, just simply sitting in the same spot naturally, just as the grass grows and then dies and then regrows, or as you say, the rain. It's just all naturally occurring, seemingly.
Effortlessly.
This conversation, everything. It's just is.
Innocence at play.
Yes.
Robbing a bank. Innocence at play. Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So I checked out your YouTube channel, Amor. Cool. There
yeah.
are some nice movies on it.
Yeah, so you know, it just seemingly arises sometimes to make a video and to talk to my camera, and there's nobody teaching anybody anything. There's nobody to learn anything. It's just this seeming to interact. It's just this seeming as two separate individuals interacting. I mean, there's nothing actually happening.
Yeah, just expression.
Simply. Yes.
What else? What else? Of course. Of course it is. No matter what you call it.
Yeah.
Teaching is also an expression. It's not different.
Yeah, you know, and me walking through a park with nothing to actually say right now, just enjoying this. It's just this. There's nothing wrong with it.
There is also nothing right with this.
And there's nothing right with it. Exactly.
Yes, so we can say this is just innocently expressing itself effortlessly.
However, it may appear to arise.
Mm.
This is just blindly itself.
I love to call it perfection in action. Because there is simply no separation. This is booming aliveness. Full on whatsoever is happening.
Yes. You know, yesterday, driving through from the north of the United States down to the south, I'd gotten a phone call that my father-in-law is passing away. And me sitting in my truck, crying like a baby, and people driving by, watching me cry like a baby, and me being embarrassed by that. It's just simply this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, me feeling bad because I'm not with my family while that's happening. It's just simply that. You know, there's nothing separate from this. And you know, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, this is crying is beautiful, and having the idea that someone is watching and seeing you crying and making stories out of it or not is beautiful too. This is full on.
What a shit show.
Yeah, what a beauty. What a shitty beauty.
What a pity.
What a shit show, you know? It's just you know. And this beautiful, I don't know if you can see the trees.
Yeah,
It's just stunning.
yeah, beautiful. Love it. The sky too.
It is the sun. It feels different in the south down here. It's just it just hits different, you know. You
Yeah,
just feel it revitalizes you.
yeah. Here the spring is starting to boom out, but kind of cold sequences are in between. And today, the warmth, you can really feel it. You know, this is the softness in the air. Let's put it like this. Very cool. I love it.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, this feeling the warm breeze. It's just it's beautiful. I'm not used to it because where I'm from, it's cold for 6 or 7 months out of the year. So to be down here is like it's a shock to the body.
Yeah. So, Amor, what would you say? Um, is this um, is this now kind of, can you say, well, it's kind of now more easygoing since I saw that everything is it already, it's done. Would you say this is kind of a difference getting this conceptually, or is there a thing like getting this energetically, or how would you express this? Like before and after, or a melting away, or yeah, maybe about this?
none of it actually matters, because the somebody feeling that it is energetically occurring, or however it may appear, it's just there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing right with it. It just is. So it's just an apparent story. I mean, there's nothing actually happening. So to compare different feelings, there's nobody actually feeling anything.
There's just full-on feeling,
It's a full-on feeling.
full-on thoughts, full-on ideas.
Anything that an apparent me can say about this, there's nothing that would be right or wrong or true or false, or it just is, however it may show itself. I could come up, this apparent me that's speaking could come up with this story of how, since realizing this, there's a underlying peace that follows me everywhere, that there's this underlying, just everything's okay. But there was never a me that realized anything. There's never a me that ever experienced anything. It's all an apparent happening. Nothing ever actually happened.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, just the cookie, full on the cookie.
So Sander, how do you live with all of those dogs? I've always wanted to ask you that.
Well, effortlessly and innocently, having dogs and not having dogs, and dogs dying and dogs getting born and feeding them, and just what's happening. There's no feeling that it takes effort even. It's just what's happening. Having dogs and cuddling with them, and working, going to work and try to earn money to give them good food, and to take care of them when they're sick, and when it's the end of their life, making sure they don't suffer, and when they get born, making sure that they have a safe environment where they can grow up and that they don't eat each other. Yeah, living with dogs.
What?
Well,
They don't eat you?
well,
Have you had dogs eat each other before?
well, when you have a lot of dogs, sometimes dogs can get aggressive. They can fight. It's just what's happening. Fighting dogs and biting dogs may happen. Attacking each other, or five dogs attacking one dog. And when there is when you let it go, so to say, a dog can die.
Okay, got it.
I saw all the beautiful pictures, Amor, you shared on Facebook, with the lions, with the bloody face, killing and trying to get food, and and feeling, or I have to get that instead of you. It's just innocently happening. you know, and throwing some dog food on the ground, and then two dogs thinking, well, that little piece is mine and not yours, or whatever. I mean, you know, even thinking that they are thinking like that is just simply what is happening, you know, projecting. And but it's just simply naturally arising, you know, eating, getting eaten, you know, trying to get your piece, you know, trying to get what you need or not, or sometimes, and taking is as innocently as taking care of the dogs, you know. And sometimes there's sadness when dogs are dying, and there's happiness where dogs are getting born, or where there's puppies playing, there's laughing and enjoying, and just simply this already, you know, whatever is happening, you know. The question and the wondering, how in the hell can you live with all those dogs, and wanting to know is this.
Two lions cuddling, snuggling up to each other, cleaning each other, is just as equally this as a lion chasing down a gazelle and tearing it apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no difference. And if the sight of the lion tearing apart the gazelle disturbed you, well, that's no different than an apparent you finding it joyful,
Exactly.
watching the lion chase down the gazelle and tear it to pieces.
Yeah.
You know,
There is nothing to any of it. It's just seemingly happening.
yeah, it's, you know, it's effortlessly, you know, the liking and the crying and the laughing and the not wanting
And the disappearing of Amor.
and the disappearing of Amor is just innocently happening.
Very
Like,
innocently.
yeah, you
There
know,
is no effort to it.
no, crying comes, you know, laughing comes, even the idea or thought that it takes effort to cry
Yeah, that's true.
or to hold your tears is effortlessly,
Yeah.
you know.
Full on. Full on.
Falling away in the middle of a conversation may happen, you know.
Well, let's continue in part 2, sweetheart.
Yes.
Okay. See ya.